Well, hello everyone out there, and I want to come at you here on Sunday, and I want to, first of all, I want to welcome you all here on a Sunday afternoon, and the video you just saw, of course, was recorded several years ago, and that was John Lewis on drums and the great Dwight Kilian, two very well-known people here in the Phoenix area, and they're just fantastic players, and that was a tune we did called Night Miss Blues. I think it was back in 2015 at the Nash Jazz Club here, which is a phenomenal jazz club here, and they feature all world-class artists, and I've had the pleasure to play there fairly frequently, you know, and not as much as I'd like to. I'm going to probably get in there a little bit more in the future, but it's always the place to go hear jazz, you know. Anyway, we're going to get started here tonight, and I have it's kind of a just getting off listening to what the federal task force was saying about we're not out of the woods yet, you know, with everything that's going on in the world, and they're extending the social distancing and the measures that they're going through right now to control the spread of this thing till April 30th. So I want you all to know that find things that are going to, it's just hard to believe we're not going to see our loved ones and be close to these people and all our friends. So we're really going to want to use the social media platforms to be able to stay connected, and share the love and, be together. And it's like, and I am very, very much enjoying this process, of being able to get out there and be in front of people and just connect this way. So especially during this hard time. I'm going to be mixing up the music a little bit. We had a wonderful night last night with all ballads, and it was really cool, to play ballads all night. And it's very not typical on a normal gig. So, but today I'm going to do a little bit. I got about 7 tunes for you, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit to kind of bring a little bit more of the kind of uplifting vibe. Although we are playing some ballads, I love playing ballads. And I also want to encourage you, and I'll encourage people throughout this broadcast to take this time to share your thoughts, how this platform is helping you, how music is helping you, how this process, use this platform to vent. You all know that who have attended this, I've taken the time to read every comment afterwards. I get great pleasure in that. Maybe tell a story of how we met, or or something that's we're reminiscent here. I've seen students that I've taught when I was 18 years old. I mean, it was we're talking 45 years ago. So it's kind of like we're really connecting in a very, very broad way and kind of rekindling very special relationships. So I'm very I'm encouraging everyone to use this. Feel free to comment and vent here, spill, ask questions, But it's that's what we're here for. I'm also going to be mentioning too that we're going to be. I'll be. I see. Let's see who's out here first. I'll say hi to everyone. Oh, Cheryl's back, and Danny Doyle and Tricia. We all love Dwight. He is such a beast. He's a wonderful, wonderful bass player. And a dear friend. Jimmy Page is here. Nabila. And I'm so happy to see my dear friend Jean watching. This is I want to send my love and out to them, and I'm so happy you're going to be able to watch this from my house here. So it's really we're coming earlier because I have tons of family on the East Coast. Originally being from Boston. I have loads of family and lots of musicians that I grew up with, and at a time where we were always playing music. It seemed like 6-7 nights a week for years, So things have changed quite a bit since then. But we're going to start off tonight with a really cool tune I hope you enjoy, called Memories of You. Memories of You. Let's see, we got out here. Please let me know, Lenny Whitmore, Brenda, thanks so much for coming in. And I'm going to make sure the sound's okay, everything's cool, because you never know, because we're sounds fine in the room, but when it's going out and projecting across the country, it's hopefully all the sound's cool. This is a next tune I want to play is a beautiful tune, and but I want to give you a little bit of some music background today as well. I think it's kind of important. A lot of people hear me play a lot of solo piano, and then you see me in the beginning of the show playing trio. And often people ask, what's the difference, man? It's like, what is the whole difference between playing solo piano and trio? It's like, it's they both take an enormous skill. You have to really have your skill together. And I typically tell all my students, a lot of times, it's a lot easier to go playing in a band and a trio and in band settings if you get your solo chops together, because it's a lot harder for the band players to go and play really effective solo piano. So at least I found that, because they're so used to having that support and playing parts and things in that kind of, or even if they're playing jazz trio, if they're not used to keeping time as a solo pianist. It's a big part of it. So they're kind of two different skills, but solo piano is one of the things that I've pretty much made a living at, and it's just been I just see Karen Cameron. Is Karen Cameron on here? Did Karen get in? I see she made a comment on the video. I don't know if she's still on an old video or she might be in. But Karen Cameron is another situation. She's a phenomenal singer, and from Boston, that many would know her, and I'm hoping she's going to be able to get in and check the show out, because anyway, we have a great history together. We worked together for quite some time back in Boston, and back in the day where we'd be playing in a trio and we'd have people dancing all night. So it was like it was really cool. But anyway, hey Jim Saunders, it's so nice to see you. But anyway, playing solo piano is a way I made a living for a long, long time. It's like it's one of my, one of my passions, and it's something that, you're playing the bass, you're playing chords, you're improvising, you're using the whole gamut. So, but I do love playing with a great trio, and there are some great, great musicians that I've been privileged to play with, and I hope to do a lot more with. The band you heard in the beginning of the show tonight was, again, Dwight, Kilian, and John Lewis. I work with, there's so many great players here in Phoenix. It's just really, really nice. And then back in Boston, just a whole slew of just everyone. It's just so nice. So you'll see my Throwback Thursdays on my Facebook page, where I'm actually posting a lot of the great players that we've had back in the early 80s when we were playing jazz every week and featuring all these great artists. So so many good memories. So we're going to continue now with a beautiful, beautiful ballad, and it's called The Summer Knows, written by Michel Legrand. Hope you enjoy. That was a tune called The Summer Knows, and always a joy to play Michel Legrand. I think I might have, you may have heard this story, but it was really, hey, Rusty, good seeing you, man. And Rosie, good to see you back. And anyway, this is kind of a Michel Legrand story, and I remember this, and I think I aged like 5 years on the gig, but I was a young, I was in my 20s, and I had, I was playing at the place called Kimball's by the Sea, and it was in Cohasset, a beautiful coastal town. They had the Melody Tent, and they had all these great entertainers that were playing there all summer, every night. They had Tony Bennett and Tom Jones and, you know, Buddy Rich and a little bit of everything going there. And so I got a chance to meet all these players there. So, of course, Michel Legrand and Tony Bennett were doing a show there, and I'm playing piano in the lounge with my tuxedo, and I was like 25 years old maybe. And I get to Michel Legrand, wonderful, wonderful cat. I mean, just sweetheart. And Tony Bennett was just to die for. They were doing a few days there, and they specifically wanted to sit near the piano because I was playing all these old tunes, and they were digging it. So then this one woman comes up to the piano. She had a few drinks too many, and she proceeded to very loudly say, "Can you play What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life?" And Michel Legrand looked over at me. I'm like, oh my God, here's the guy that just wrote this thing. He probably just did it in his show, and I'm supposed to play this for this group of people now. The whole place knew that I was going to play What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life? So anyway, I'll never forget it. I was terrified. I was like so scared. And so I played this tune, and Michelle Legrand came out and put $20 in my tip jar there and patted me on the back, and it was like, and it was just made me feel so good. But whenever I think of a Michelle Legrand, I think of the story that someone had called me on one of his tunes, and it's just, it's a great tune, and fortunately I knew it, and I guess I did it justice. But it's you never know who's. That's what I tell students too. A lot of times you never know when you're playing out there, when you're doing a gig, to always assume there's no one, there's someone sitting around the corner that could be just the heavy player, yet just really listening to what you're doing. So a lot of times, hey, there's no one here, man. They just get lazy. They lose their focus. They're not really thinking about what they're playing on a gig. I never do that because I've been too many times with someone so unassuming. You're looking over, looks like a banker. It could be like the piano player for Tower of Power. You never know who's sitting there. It's like, and just because of how they perceive to throw themselves out there in the morning for breakfast or for a lunch afternoon. So anyway, this next tune, as you all know, I love composing, and this is a song I wrote in my office in Laguna. I was in Laguna Beach, and it's called Lagunasero, and this is Yanis Goudilis. This song is meant for you, man. He's another great pianist and a good friend here in Phoenix, and he's all over the place. He's doing great things with his music. And again, all us musicians right now, we're out there connecting through these platforms. Please just find peace within it right now. Be creative on your own. Reinvent yourself. Whatever we got to do in this downtime, try to do these projects you couldn't do. Clean the garage, clean the spare room, clean a closet, do your filing. By staying busy and occupying your time, it really helps get through it. For me, it's been learning how to do the streaming thing and get comfortable with it. And I will be going to, I'm letting people know that as of now, the way it sits right now, because I usually plan these broadcasts around my schedule teaching. And I get busy teaching Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here with my corresponding students. But I intend to be bringing my broadcast to my YouTube channel. I have quite a few people. I have about 1,300 people on my YouTube channel, a lot of musicians. They're international audience. So I intend to be hitting that particular audience now that I got the streaming thing going. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do. And another, see, we're dealing with a crisis with this in the country's in, and a lot of these people that are following me are from Italy, are from these countries that are just being devastated. So I'm so happy to be able to put it out there and send my love through the music and connect with these people that have been following me for years on YouTube. So that's going to be coming out. I'll surely let everyone know what platforms I'm going to be. But as of now, I'm looking at being back here at 5 o'clock on Saturdays. Is going to be my FaceTime kind of slot here, and I'll surely let everyone know a day well enough ahead of time so you can plan on getting out. See Kathleen coming in. Thank you for coming by, and it's just so nice to see these all these acquaintances and friends and all over the place that are coming in. So, but anyway, this next tune goes out to my friend Yanni. It's called Lagunasero. I wrote it in Laguna, so it was kind of had Laguna in there, and it's kind of a Latin thing. So hope you enjoy. There you have it, Lagunasero. It's again one of my original compositions, and it's just such a fun tune to play. And you get with a trio on that, man, it's like out of control. Especially with the guys around here. You ask Giannis, man. There's all these insane players. Good to see Linda. Linda's here. Thank you, Danny. Carol's in again, and it's so cool, man. These are all acquaintances I have right across the United States here, and it's really cool. This next tune is a very special one. I see John Ragusa, one of my students out in Tampa. He just joined in, and it's really it's actually really nice too, because I do all correspondence, and I've been doing the correspondence thing since 1989. I was very proud to say I was one of the first in the world, but I never thought it would be the way of all the the way of the world now. Everyone's trying to put this all together right away overnight. So I am extending my thoughts, and if anyone wants to vent and talk about it, I know there's all new ways to doing it with Zoom and all kinds of things right now, but feel free to hit me up at dan@pianoinstruction.com, and I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts and ideas. We can kind of chat about it and what worked for me, what didn't. I know tips on lighting and stuff. So there's all kinds of things. I'm using the Earthworks microphone here in the piano, which I'm very honored to be part of their artist crew there, and they have a wonderful company. It's like a small family, and I'm collaborating with other artists from there, Doug Hammer, Ron Tansky. There's some great players that are involved with the company, and everyone's using it. But this is a great piano mic right here. It's picking up here, and from what I hear, the piano's coming through really great. So, and that's streaming, so you can imagine what it sounds like, on a real recording here. It's unbelievable. So it's really cool. So this next tune is coming at you. It's called "Love Is Here to Stay." Check it out. Our Love is Here to Stay. Just such another fun tune to play, man. And great always seeing you, Giannis, out there. Thank you for coming in again, Kim, Jeff, Rosie, Susan. Hey, man. It's such a great time. Hopefully the audio's coming through good. Okay, I see Jeff saying the piano sounds good. Great. It's such a tough thing to be able to to know what's really happening out there. We're going to continue now with a really cool tune that I love playing, and it's done by a lot of players, and it's a ballad. It's called "In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning." That was in the wee small hours of the morning, with a little bit of I think with a prelude to a kiss in the end. One of those other tunes. There's so many great tunes out there, and again, you almost get lost of what to play because there's so much. Good seeing you, Phil, and from Weymouth. And again, we went back. This was a cool story that Phil and I known him as PJ, so I never associated. I see Phil Finessi, and like 45 years ago, he was a student of mine. So it's like he's going, "Yay, Dan, man!" It was like, and I'm like, "Well, okay, let's see if we can figure out where we connected." And then as soon as they said PJ and even the town and where it was, So that's what I mean through the social media. It's really, I say, look at Rich Keneally. Oh my God, Skoomba. I used to go see Richie and Jack Saunders, my dear friend, great B3 player and piano player from. He's living in Quincy and on the South Shore of Boston, and I used to go hear these guys play all the time. And Rich Keneally was always he's a great alto player, and John Paul Sweezy coming through. But again, what better way to connect in a kind of a distressed time, than do this? It's I might have said it. I could tell Yanni this. He'd appreciate this. My fellow pianist out here. He's this is like doing a giant piano bar, man. It's like if we had this many people coming through, like on a gig, it would be. I see Paul Eric Melhouse. I mean, man, he's just an extraordinary talent, and I love his mom to pieces. She's just great, Pam, and appreciate you popping in, Paul. But anyway, this is what a great media to be able to go out there. Mike Spreeman coming in here. I really, think the world of these guys with the Ravenscroft piano, and I'm pushing my nice C3 out here as best we can. And I got a great tuner, Mark Perney, who is actually tuning a lot for the Ravenscroft too. So Mark Perney is just a wonderful cat. But anyway, this is a time I was telling people earlier. If you want to comment. I love reading the comments after this. This is like, it'd be like going to do a piano bar gig and then getting 1 million letters on the piano afterwards, so you can go home and you kind of think, yeah, man, they were listening after all, So, I did the dining room at the Ritz-Carlton for so many years, and you play tune after tune, and you're providing an ambiance, and people surely acknowledge your presence and everything, but it's not really it's not like a jazz gig, But anyway, this is my opportunity to sit there, and I'm just going to dig deep and play tunes and just play all kinds of tunes and hit you with different things. But all the more reason where we're getting all on the social platform with today announcement going to April 30th. Everyone's going to, I'm not seeing my kids. It's like it's crazy, man. My mom, I was supposed to fly to Florida to see her for her 92nd birthday. Next week, I was leaving Monday, and I had to cancel that. So, just everyone's life is in a different place. So reinvent yourself, stay creative, try to get into something new. Write more tunes. Spend more time with family and FaceTiming or whatever you got to do. Stay connected, and this is what this is all about. I really think that we're going to come out of this in a whole different place. I know myself. I've told people already that just my dose of this already, I'm going to be doing this regularly, on a regular basis to stay connected with my dear friends out there. So even if you don't know me yet and you're coming on as coming through the social media network, please drop me a comment so we can become more acquainted. And that's what I'm hoping this platform's going to do. It'll make new friends, and we'll have we'll be able to share this whole thing together. It'd be great. This next tune is again an unusual tune. I have this kind of reputation, I guess. I'm maybe because I'm older, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know where it came from, but I always play these old tunes. Tenderly, Don't Blame Me, Ghost of a Chance. I mean, I know all these, Wrap Your Troubles in Dreams, Sweet Lorraine. Maybe from listening to Dave McKenna and all those old kind of cats, But I love doing those tunes. This next one, I heard. I remember doing it with Dick Johnson, the great clarinet player from Boston, and he called this tune, and we did it. And I always think of Dick when I play this thing. It's a kind of a different tune. It's called Jitterbug Waltz. Check it out. Okay, there you go. Was that a Jitterbug Waltz with a little bit of Moonlight in Vermont? But it's like one of those kind of things where that's what I try to explain a lot of times to players out there, that they, when you're playing these tunes, a lot of times you really, you take a tune like Over the Rainbow or Danny Boy, right? You know, any of these just basic tunes, and you put in the jazz artistry to it, and it becomes jazz. It becomes different and fresh all the time. I think that's the big thing that's always drawn me into this kind of genre, you know. Let's see who's out here. And again, I want to just, I will reply to all you guys out there. I just love this so much, you know, that we're good seeing it. Jerry, I just a new person I just connected with, and we're talking about music. And again, I'm here for you if you want to just chat about music. You send me an email, dan@pianoinstruction.com. If you want any ideas on the whole teaching platform thing, I'm very, very active with it. I do a different kind of thing with my teaching, whereas my library is all shot. You know, it took decades to build it. I have over 2,000 videos in my library, and I use in my teaching. And my model is set up with one lesson a month. They send me videos. I listen to them. I do a critique back, plus all the PDFs and the videos. So it's a very, very intense kind of scene. But it's but that's how I've always modeled it. But if I had to do it again, and I would recommend this to all teachers out there right now, do Skype, do Zoom, and create a pedagogy, you know, of something that you can kind of talk about in the lesson. Then you send the PDF off. You're going to save yourself from, what I had to do is I developed my whole library, and I'm sending a whole actual, I have tunes at like 40 levels and improvisational, all kinds of skills that I teach. So it's, but I think that that's probably my biggest advice when you're getting into this kind of online thing. You always wonder, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to do? How are you going to deliver it? So if you have the page, you can always send the PDF ahead of time so the student can print it. You can be talking about the same piece of music, you know, same thing. And that way you have it. So invest your time in developing an accurate pedagogy when you know, that's how I start off with my ideas. Or then I get involved. Anyone wants to know about lighting and switching, I use Final Cut Pro. I'm filming with all kinds of SD cards and everything, so it's a little different, but I love it. And I've had great students this way, and who would think that this is what we're into right now with this crisis we're in? But I can trust me. Follow it, do it, follow it through. You'll be glad you did. Reinvent yourself, and it will come out on the other side. You might find that, you know, you really enjoy teaching by correspondence in addition to your day gig where you were teaching or wherever, so you can still have this, so you can really use it to your advantage. I've always found that music is a healer, and it always has been for me. I know I'm older, have 4 kids, I've moved all over the place, and I've been very blessed with the music industry. It's been good to me, but I've used my music as one of my resources to kind of go to. And I've had all my students that are studying with me and all my players that I know, go into your playing. It's a great time to learn how to play. I mean, it's like, you know, if you have a piano sitting there, start playing, or you have a trumpet, flute, you know, start studying an instrument, because you know, it's a very productive time, and it's a very calming process to learn, you know. And so let's see what we have here. My next tune I got up here is, I got one more to play for you, and then I have a special thing I'm going to leave you with, and I did last night. I've collaborated with a lot of players, one in particular, and I have allocates of, you know, Ed Saindon. He's a great vibes player and piano player at Berklee College of Music. He's a wonderful friend, and he wrote this tune called Humanity, and I played it into my broadcast a couple of shows ago, and then last night I left you with a solo piano version of me playing it with an image, and giving Ed the full you know, endorsement. What he really needs to be commended for this beautiful piece of music he wrote. So it's I hope you enjoy it. So when I leave the screen, spend an extra 5 or 6 minutes and listen to this beautiful piece of song that came to Ed. The emotion is captured for this time we're in. It's called Humanity, and that's really what it's all about right now. So okay, we got I've got The World in a String we're going to play right now, so hope you enjoy. I've got the world on a string, and again, I want to take this last moment to say goodnight and thank you all again for staying with me for the whole hour. And it's Mike Coker, one of my favorite pianists on the planet. You know, it's you got to check him out, and you know, he's just a wonderful, wonderful cat too. Just so nice, and let's all reach out through music here and be creative, be inventive. Leave me comments here. I love reading them all. I'll get back to each and every one of you. If you want to reach out and talk about music, talk about your career, where the things are going, feel free to reach out to me at dan@pianoinstruction.com. We can chat, we can FaceTime, have you over my house. We can't get together yet, but that will come. As soon as this is all behind us, we would have made a lot of, hopefully, new friends and got a lot closer through this process we're in right now. Is this time of despair. So this last piece of music I'm going to leave you with. I'm going to switch the screen here. I'm going to leave you and say goodnight. I'll be back here. I'm hoping to do 5 o'clock next Saturday. I'll surely let you know a day or two ahead of time. I'll post it. And I'm likely going to be on my YouTube channel delivering for the first time on Thursday night, which I have more of an international crowd to. So I'm going to cater to them and hopefully touch in with some of the people from these countries that are really affected. So, and just spread the love through music. So it's really what it's all about. So hope you enjoy. Ed Saindon, my great friend, wrote this masterpiece of music called Humanity, and I just love it. I played it solo piano, and I put a little image there for you to relax to. Enjoy the next 6 minutes. You'd be glad you listened to it. It's really, really something, okay? Remember to send me a comment. I'll get back to you soon, okay? Take care. God bless. Bye now.